I'm just streaming now, because whatever. I don't need an intro. I don't give a shit. It's been a long day.
Well, the magician isn't in lobby yet, so we have a couple of minutes. I think it would be good to go over sort of the rules for everyone listening, don't you think?
Definitely. Can you link me that page?
Absolutely. Oh, I do not have that capability in SJR. Just a moment, on Skype.
Oh, man.
And there we go, sent. So, I'll just reread off sort of the first blurb, or I'll just read off the rules. Why not? Each drop is a simulated contract where payment is made for victory. Losses will be covered, however the employer will keep full salvage rights. Teams will compete over several matches throughout the season, each match consisting of 5 drops. Each drop is worth C-bills. Accumulative C-bills will add to their MRBC rating and their ranking in their respective division. Common game parameters for all 5 drops is game mode skirmish, 15 minutes, 8v8, and first person only. Teams cannot use more than one clan mech of the same chassis in a drop deck. This also means teams cannot use duplicate chassis to get around any of those 2 aforementioned restrictions. For example, to duplicate a clan mech or to gain more than 3 clan mechs in their drop deck. Maps will be generated for each drop of each match and can be found on the future draw pages, which I was looking for earlier. Okay, that's good to know. At the start of the season. Drop 1 will be the reconnaissance drop. You will be required to drop in 4 lights and 4 mediums. No airstrikes or artillery strikes are allowed, and you can only have 2 of each chassis, but you must have at least 2 ECM equipped mechs. Drop 2 is the recon drop. The drop composition is 2 lights, 4 mediums, and 2 heavies. No strikes are still allowed, and you are restricted to 1 of any chassis, maximum 2 duplicate chassis allowed. So, I suppose that should say maximum 1 variant, 2 chassis. Is that how you interpret that, Bill?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, because looking at the example drop deck, they've got 2 catapults and 2 Shadowhawks there. You can have like 2 doubled up chassis, so 4 of your mechs can be spent on 2 chassis.
Drop 3 is the Commander Assassination deck that we were talking about earlier, and you must drop with 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and 1 Highlander. The Highlander is your VIP, and once that mech is killed, then if your mech is killed, you lose the game. Or if any team loses its Highlander, it suffers minus 50,000 C-bills. That means if both teams lose their Highlanders, no team gets a 50,000 C-bill bonus. Drop 4 is called the Flank Engagement. 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, and 2 assaults, which is sort of the basic tournament deck for 8v8. This one's airstrikes and artillery strikes are allowed, but you can only have 1 of each chassis and maximum 1 duplicate chassis allowed. Lights are no longer exempt from these rules. Also, 50,000 C-bill bonus for killing all enemy heavies and assaults. So, in the 4th drop, they are in lobby, so just keep an eye on that, Bill.
Okay, I will start watching that, no worries.
So, in the fourth drop, the main objective is to kill all the heavier mechs. If you kill all the enemy's heavier mechs, you get a bonus. The 5th and final drop is called the Center of Battle Engagement. So you must take 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults, much heavier than any other drops that we'll see tonight. Air and artillery strikes are allowed, and as with most others, the restrictions are 1 of each chassis, maximum 1 duplicate chassis allowed, and lights are no longer exempt. And then, again, 50,000 C-bill bonus for killing all enemy heavy and assault mechs.
This is definitely a weird, but in a good way, set of rules. Very interesting. I like the thought that's gone into this and how it makes it. It's always, you know, a series of 5, and you always have a chance to, you know, redeem yourself and do well and earn C-bills. It's not just like a Boolean win or loss like it is so many times.
Right. I mean, there's certainly gray area for you to increase your standing even in a lost match. You can see how you can earn the 50,000 C-bill bonus and stuff like that. Even if you end up losing that drop, you still earn C-bills.
So I'm looking here, and it looks like drop 1's going to be on Canyon Network, drop 2's going to be on Crimson Strait, third one's going to be on Frozen City Night, fourth is Mining Collective, and fifth is HPG Manifold. So the super light drop on Canyon Network, that will make it interesting, because lights can definitely traverse that map a lot easier than the heavy mechs.
Oh, certainly, especially with lights having their jump jets. They can easily jump up and down canyon ridges, and also just dart around corners and get out of sight quite quickly.
I'm wondering if we'll see all jump jet mediums, or if we'll see teams sort of say, no, it doesn't matter, we'd rather have the, you know, like the DPS of a gridiron, or, you know, something like that, where they say, no, we don't really need the jump jets, even though it is Canyon Network. I will be interested to see how that plays out. Even Stormcrows, you know, they can bring those streak boats, but they are kind of screwed if they get stuck down in a canyon. Not that it's difficult to avoid the canyons, but it is a consideration.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't bring a streak crow myself into the Canyon Network. Like I was saying earlier, those lights can really jump up and down and get out of your range and out of your sight whenever they want, and then you're stuck, really.
See, that it's a tough call for me, and I think that I might honestly just bring 4 streak crows here. Well, no, that's right, you can't. You can only bring 2 clan mechs and you can't double up. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, this really makes you think, doesn't it? I don't see them now, so wait. No, Magician's still there. Okay. They're not in game.
Still in lobby.
Alright, God, I'm so excited for July 21st, when anyone can do what we're doing now,
God,
and it's just 2 slots in the, you know, any private lobby. It's gonna be such an improvement. I'm gonna miss public spectation. I'm gonna miss pugcasting, but whatever, man.
Well, who knows? They might forget to revoke your consumer service representative spectator access like they did for 8 months for me or something like that last time around.
Well, you know, I'm hoping we can sort of convince them in the next couple of weeks. If Maverick and I get time, we had the thought that, you know, on one of these leaderboard events, we could just shoutcast that shit. We could just follow some of the top players as they, you know, fight for the leaderboard title. And of course, you know, you're not going to get in all the good matches, but, you know, I'll bet that would actually be pretty fun to watch. So we're going to try to do that, and then I'm going to lobby PGI. Please let me keep my public access.
That would be really cool. Might be difficult to convince them, but it'd still be really cool.
I don't think I've got any chance, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make it happen anyways. So let's see, what's this called? This is reconnaissance. I can't spell that, so I'm gonna copy and paste that word into the rule set that is coming up. Where skirmish, reconnaissance, I guess, 4400.
Unless you want to, well, I actually haven't seen how the overlay is set up, so I can't really say one way or another. But well, I would just list all 5 drops, actually. Unless you wanted to change it every single drop.
See, that's just it. I don't know that I can. because I don't know that I have enough space. It only has like this tiny little box on here. Like maybe if I messed around with the CSV stuff, I could... I'm trying to put a character turn in here, but nope. Nope, there is no line feed, so... yeah, I'm gonna have to change it every time like I do for Major League Mech Warrior. That is probably something I can figure out eventually. There are a lot of things about this overlay, obviously, that could be approved, and of course, anybody that's watching, this is not Major League Mech Warrior. All of those logos, they're just there. Because I don't have the MRBC ones, but if anyone associated with the league is watching this, give me your logo, give me your stuff, and I'll start using it.
I just grabbed the banner at the top of the website, and that's what I'm using tonight.
I could probably just copy that onto the background, and I could have a Major League Mech... You know, though, I need to find someone with Photoshop abilities, because I really need, like, a decent shoutcasting overlay with 2 places for webcams, all the, you know, places to plug stuff. And a place where you can switch out the league logo, but whatever. One step at a time. I don't see Magician, so I gotta assume that they're a match. Yes, they are.
Yeah, looks like that's the case.
Unless Magician is not in this match, which would be amazing trolling.
Yeah, I'm dropping.
Same here. Just making sure that my overlay switcher is actually going to be automatic and work, and sure enough it is. So in red we've got SJR, I see Firestarters, Jenner, interesting, a Kit Fox, Stormcrow, 2 Griffins, and a Nova. Very diverse deck.
And over in EmpyreaL, we've got Stormcrow, Enforcer, wow, Wolverine, and another Wolverine for the mediums.
So the SJR lights are chasing Aurora down, but Magician and his Jenner's taking a lot of damage, probably CT, although I couldn't be absolutely sure. SJR is definitely pushing in aggressively. They know they're going to get out-traded by those Wolverines. Proton cycling away in his Wolverine, going far left, trying to get some distance.
This has just really become a hairball very, very quick.
And so it's 1-0 SJR. That legged Wolverine or whatever it was goes down. SJR continues the push. Banana Nut Muffin's not looking good in that Raven. Selleth behind the Firestarter as well. And SJR now controls the top. They're in good position if they can hold on. It's only 2-1 though. Ooh, 4-1.
Hairpiece is legged in Stormcrow, so he's not going very fast. If they focus him down, he won't be lasting very long. Oh, and there goes Hairpiece.
And sure enough, this is going SJR's way. Proton at full health. Cobra and the Kit Fox was looking good until he got hit with that just wall of streaks there. Sure enough, SJR has brought 1 streak boat. Aurora and the Firestarter trying to get away. Ah, it's the Kit Fox streak boat. Not a bad way to run it now that I think about it. Proton probably going to put up the top numbers, but just wasn't enough.
And we have Aurora that just got felled by G-Man. They were having a little fight of their own between lights.
Ooh, Tweakin taken down by Proton. And G-Man's legged. This Wolverine's only got 1 weapon. Oh, but Glory's here with the streaks, and there it goes.
The first match goes to SJR. I'm supposed they're feeling a little salty after their loss of Major League Mech Warrior. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yep. It was a 3-0 loss coming off their 3-0 victory in Run Hot or Die. It seems like these teams really switch back and forth, and definitely looking at the damage numbers. Proton and that Wolverine, you know, he escaped early. He abandoned the hell out of his team to go snipe, and he made good use of it, but SJR consistent damage across the board. I just think they had the better deck for it. I think that EMP wanted to try to trade, but they didn't try to kite nearly hard enough to be using those large lasers like that. I think they maybe could have used some more streaks, as cheesy as that sounds.
Oh, it's a very, very light drop. And with light drops, you have really fast mechs. And with really fast mechs, if you want to hit them every single time, you bring lock-on missiles. It's just as easy as that.
And you can see glory in that streak Stormcrow 571. There is a reason that, you know, streaks are pretty brutal. Although I think that Imperial did have a streak Stormcrow, SJR just did a better job maneuvering with the terrain to prevent Herp from getting those locks.
Yeah, Herp was stuck down in the canyon that we were talking about earlier. If you get stuck down in the canyon, the lights just jump up the wall and suddenly your streaks are useless.
To be fair, though, he was chased off and legged as he was falling off, so that's pretty much what happened there. So what is our second drop going to be?
Crimson Strait. Crimson Strait is the second drop.
Crimson Strait Recon in Force, and that's 2420.
So 2 lights, 4 mediums, and 2 heavies for your 8 mechs.
Yeah, anybody watching this stream, if I'm a little bit behind on something, it's like, oh my god, Blade Splint is saying I should drop him an email. I can hook you up with some Photoshop. Because if that would happen, that would be amazing. I would love, I mean, I don't need anything complicated. I just need a damn background. I can't even draw boxes. I'm stuck on MS Paint, and I've never pulled my head out of my ass on that one. I should probably be watching this list here. In lobby, not in game. Huge shout out to Blade Splint for offering to help me out with this, because all of us casters need sort of a more flexible overlay. Big shout out to Farp Noodle, you know, for making all the functionality, making it work, giving me all the stuff, giving me the tools to do it. It's been a joy to use compared to, you know, the old horrible setup I had. So yeah, go community.
No, you will no longer be able to bill yourself now.
I know.
I have billed myself before, so I know the feeling.
Well, to be fair, though, that's not even his overlay. That was built into OBS. This entire time, there was no reason for me to be having radio problems. But sure enough...
Oh, the automatic switching is built into OBS?
Yes,
you,
dude.
Switch?
Yes, settings.
Yeah,
go to...
look into that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Go to settings, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Settings, scene switcher at the bottom. I can't believe I didn't even see the...
See that.
Yeah, you know that thing that says, that implies it would switch scenes? Yeah, yeah, that is actually what it does. So, yeah, it would have been, you know, nice to realize earlier, but you know what? We're learning, and the important thing is that there's going to be no more radio broadcasts. So. Sorry, here I'm just typing up an email to Blade Splint so I don't forget. In fact, I should probably write down all of the other things I need to do tonight for MechWarrior related.
I just wish that this page would... Well, so it says that whenever a team wins, it gets salvage rights. I don't know exactly what that entails. Does that mean that depending upon which mechs you bring, your drop deck would be worth more or less? So, like, you know, when you're playing the game and you win a match, you get something like 25% of the value of the things that remain undestroyed, or something like that. Is this somewhat similar? Like, how is it calculated?
See, I don't know. Let's dig through these rules. Geez. Do they have salvage listed on here? Sportsmanship, blah, blah, blah. Rewards and penalties. Okay, here we go. I don't see salvage listed on here. I really don't see anything about salvage. So, I have no clue. Employer keep full salvage rates. I don't know what that means. You know what? We're gonna have to get one of the league admins on here to talk about this, hype this up, and explain some of the rules. But I have no clue. I see nothing about salvage other than that one mention of it.
Well, they do have a drop calculator built into the site.
Well, I was just gonna say, maybe they actually mean the literal value in the, like, in the little, you know, after round thing where they tell you how much salvage you got. It seems like it would be weird.
But it doesn't tell you that, does it? Not in public matches. I mean, sorry, not in lobby.
No, just after round. Yeah, I have no clue. I'm not a smart man. Oh, yeah, I forgot to change the map, didn't I? Yeah, the map, right. What's the next map?
The next map is Crimson Strait.
Well, there you go, viewers. Seconds before we're probably gonna launch into match. It's been changed.
Or it might actually be HPG, depending upon what logo or what picture Bill has in the overlay. Actually,
that's right. It's gonna change, but the picture's not gonna change. It's just gonna be the same. Because HPG is just, yeah, this overlay definitely has some things to work out, but that's mostly data entry, so.
So the drop calculator can tell you what is valid or not as an exact drop, but it doesn't say anything about salvage.
See, I don't think that's part of it. I don't know. I just, because I don't even know what losses will be covered, however the employer will keep full salvage rates. Maybe that's just like their way of saying you get paid for every match, like on a contract basis, and win or lose, the employer has all salvage rights, so, you know, we're not calculating that in, because I can't find any other mention of it in here. And that would make sense, because it looks like they're pretty, you know, specific. A decisive victory is 300 grand, a tactical victory, a 5-0 victory is 300 grand, all that kind of stuff in rewards and penalties.
Oh, there we are.
You know, you get the commander bonus for destroying the commander, so that's how the C-bills are sort of calculated, it looks like.
Okay, I was missing that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to link this in the sidebar. Well, 5 minutes ago, viewers, I linked that in chat. So,
speaking to you from the future.
Exactly. God, it's so annoying. I think they're in match.
Okay,
yes, yes, they
other
are.
bonuses: 10,000 for each destroyed match, 50,000 for destruction of all enemy and heavy and drop 4. Okay.
And they are in match, so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it looks like again, SGR is going to be in down here in red. You see a Wolverine. Wolverine, Nova, Enforcer, another Wolverine, Timberwolf, Hellbringer, and 2 Poke Ravens, and that's for SJR. EmpyreaL looks like 2 Wolverines, a Gridiron, Stormcrow, Hellbringer, 2 Firestarters, and a Timberwolf. So very similar drop decks. EMP has opted for the Knife Fight lights, but everything else is pretty much identical besides like the Enforcer and Gridiron, and honestly I think they made a better choice with the Gridiron. Maybe I don't know some about the Enforcer.
Well, it seems that SJR is taking position with their main force on the island while sending their 2 Raven 2Xs out into the city under the garage, or on top of the garage, I'm sorry, where EMP is now just sort of chilling on the other side of the map.
They have got a Firestarter up top on hill though, so he now is getting a look at where they are, and he should be able to spot pretty much their entire force and what they're doing. Maybe not the Ravens if he doesn't look down far enough.
Well, it seems EmpyreaL is just going around the same way QQ did, all the way down into the water to swing around the top of the island.
Yep, they're really taking the delayed approach, and of course I expect Laser Vomit and Gauss. I'm going to go ahead and cycle through all the players now. Firestarters, of course, the medium pulse lasers. Timberwolf S with the A-Pod. That's interesting with the ER larges. That burn time's got to be vicious. Yep, just laser Gauss Vomit. Just lots and lots of laser Gauss Vomit. Interesting Nova build. 2 large pulse, 2 ER medium. I'm gonna try to get the tags off the screen here for a minute.
And at the moment it seems that EMP is really taking advantage of these trades and doing it much better, actually.
SJR is definitely backed off here. Now they're coming back out. Maybe they're just trying to shift around to isolate someone, but both teams being very cautious with these trades. Neither one wanting to give up the advantage. SJR looks like they're moving though. They're charging across the river.
Yeah, they're certainly going out into the open. This could be very, very deadly for
it's risky, but
SJR.
it's going all right so far.
Careful. Defun just got nailed with a Gauss.
Yeah, let's look at some damage numbers here. What do we got? 77 Pie Maker for SJR, and he shut down. That was not a good place. He's gonna die in the water, very possibly. Oh, he makes it out. Not looking good though.
He's lost one arm, almost one torso.
EMP charging in, rotating right, and their lights have joined the fight now. Should really get those tags back on. My God, please give it to me. What the hell, game? I will be so happy for the new spec interface.
New target.
And it looks like this is going EMP's way. They sort of have the good water position. SJR sort of trapped up at these rocks and in the front city. The Raven's not looking too bad, but Magician just got his right arm chopped off in that Wolverine. That's basically a dead Wolverine. G-Man's neutralized in his Wolverine. The Enforcer just went down. This is looking like cleanup now.
New target. Heat level critical.
It's just the Ravens left for SJR. Now, even though Tweakin just got legged, he won't last very long. But even with, they've lost, every single kill counts towards their C-bill totals.
Definitely kiting hard, and, you know, not throwing away those last couple of mechs, I think, is very important. I don't think any... I'm going to be honest. I don't think the teams care today. I think this team, or this day, has been an icky one for the competitive community in general, and there's potentially not a lot of enthusiasm on either side. But,
so 3 dead for Imperial, 8 dead for SJR. That's 80,000 C-bills earned for Imperial and 30,000 for SJR. Do you remember how many, what the kill count was last game for Imperial?
I want to say it was like...
It was
4, 6. I don't know. It wasn't a wipe.
I thought it was only like 1 or 2.
Maybe it was only 1 or 2. I don't know. I mean, sorry, I meant 5 or 6 alive left. Not kills. Yeah. But yeah, looking at the damage numbers, EMP just put up more damage. I think they got the better trade. Time to Light carrying the day with 453 kills. And so it's tied up 1-1, and now we go to... I should really change this thing over here. So doing... the next drop is going to be called Commander Assassination. So this is the Highlander drop. And what's the next map going to be? Map is Frozen City Night. And the weight limitations are going to be 0 lights, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and 1 assault. The assault must be a Highlander. Is there any specific Highlander?
No, just the Highlander. And if that Highlander dies during the drop, it's an automatic 50,000 C-bill penalty for your team.
Harsh.
And so I put up the C-bills earned number instead of win or loss, and this is, you know, after it, for those watching, this is trying to remember if Imperial killed 2 people or 3 people. I think they only killed 2 people in the first drop.
That sounds about right.
Now, so right now C-bill totals are SJR 110,000 to Imperial's 100,000. And these are the only 2 teams in Division A. So right now, this game will determine their standings, up or down for this first round.
Yep, and it's not going to be a decisive victory for either team. You know, they both won 1, so both teams are going to get something coming out of this. You know, now that I think back, I actually have played in this league. I played in this league for 1 match when QQ needed me to fill in, and it was in this drop right here with the Highlander, because all I remember is that it was against Imperial, and I had the best butt sex with Selith that anyone would ever want to have. That was it. That was my only contribution. It was SRMs right in the butt, and I got the Highlander, and that was all I got. We got wrecked, but we got that 1 mech, so
well,
yeah,
so
good times.
They got 80,000 for killing all 8 mechs, but they lost 50,000 for having their Highlander killed. Yep,
and we got 10 grand for that. So
yeah,
what
but
now?
then you lost 50,000 for your Highlander.
We already didn't have any money, so it's okay.
Space poor forever.
It's the rough life. But, yeah, I don't have any mech bays to give out, because I can't. Those mech bays are for Major League Mech Warrior, but hey, you know, if PGI wants to just, like, give the casters a constant stream of mech bay codes to give away, we will most assuredly dump free stuff on you people all the time, so tweet Russ or Tina or somebody, just give us a big pool of crap to give away. Although I guess that was based on, yeah, that's just gonna lead to a bunch of people giving away a bunch of free mech base to their unit. But you know, some of us would have integrity.
And actually, there's also C-Bill bonuses for the total outcome. If you win 1 game, lose 4, it's a tactical defeat, plus 50,000. If you win 2 games, lose 3, minor defeat, plus 100,000. 3-2 is minor victory, plus 150,000. 4-1 is tactical victory, plus 200,000. But if you win all 5 games, your team earns 300,000 C-Bills. That is very significant.
Definitely. It
So
really
it's
starts to jump up.
It's basically 50,000 for each win, for each individual drop win. But if you win all 5, you get a bonus 50,000. Is the way that I read that. So I will update the totals reflecting that as well. So, with the wins accounted for, it's 160,000 SJR to 150,000 Imperial. So I guess it's net neutral for the commander assassination drop. If you lose your Highlander but win, it's a plus 50,000 C-Bill, or minus 50,000 C-Bill bonus for losing, but plus 50,000 if you for winning. So it's 0, and whatever mechs you kill, that's what your score is. And each single drop win will provide 250,000 C-Bills. Oh.
Really? What?
Yep, so I'm gonna add 250,000.
Oh, you're right. Right up
more
at
to
the
that.
top, the first line. Yeah.
Because reading is our strong suit.
Yeah, I'm not like a sequential kind of guy. I just sort of skim and pick up most things. But yeah, that would have been helpful to note that, geez, the lion's share of C-Bills just comes from winning drops. 250,000 C-Bills a drop. And the rest is just gravy. You know, max, you're earning 80,000 C-Bills for kills. You know, the Highlander's only 50,000 if you lose it. The entire series bonus is, you know...
Well, it actually, now reading through it, it's, you earn 300,000 C-Bills for every win, but then you earn 50,000 extra C-Bills if you win all 5.
Wait, what?
I think that's
because it says each single drop will provide 250,000,
so,
and then it says each match, quote, consisting of 5 drops will provide the following.
Right, but read just the way that I interpret 0-5. So you win 0, you get 0. You win 1, you get 50. You win 2, you get 100. 3, 150. 4, 200,000. And then 5, 300,000. So that's 50,000 for each win. If you win all 5, you get an extra 50. See what I'm saying?
I mean, I see that, but I don't. I think that's on top. I think this sort of match bonus is on top of what you make for winning
it's on
drop.
top of the 250,000, but the math works out the same each way.
Yeah.
On how you want to think about it.
Yeah. That in that each match is effectively that you win is an extra 50,000. So yeah, I guess it is like 300,000 if you just want to bundle it all together, plus an extra 50 if you want all 5. Math is hard. I don't like this. All I know is that each team has over 250,000 C-Bills right now. That's all I know.
And they're still in lobby, folks. Don't worry, we're still watching that. So SJR won one, that's 250,000 C-bills. They won at least one, so that's plus 50,000 C-bills. And then they've killed 11 people, so that's another 110,000. So that's 410,000 for SJR. And Imperial, 250 for the win, 50 for at least one win. And then they killed 10, so that's another extra 100,000. So that's 400,000 for Imperial. Math.
I'm not, you know what? I don't even care about the C-bills. I'm gonna let somebody else add that up. I'm done with math for the day. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes on Frozen City. It's a very close-in map, so you could see one team try to trade it out, but Islander's not really a good trading mech anymore, and this is a heavy enough drop that you could really go brawly if you want, and it's not slow big mechs either. You know, it's all mediums and heavies. So I sort of expect to see a Timberwolf Hellbringer combo on each side of this match. Perhaps not, though. They might opt for something else, but I can't see him taking like a Stormcrow over either one of those mechs, considering there are no lights.
Actually, reading more through the bonuses, if Team A manages to kill the Highlander on Team B, this is worth 50,000 bonus points to Team B. If any team loses its Highlander, it suffers minus 50,000 C-bills. This means if both teams lose their Highlander, no team gets a 50,000 bonus. So, reading that, it sounds like if you kill the Highlander, you earn 50,000 and they lose 50,000, but if yours dies, they earn 50,000 and you lose 50,000. So it would be basically 100,000 C-bill difference if one of the Highlanders dies.
That is how it appears to me as well. So it's a big advantage to try to keep that Highlander alive just financially.
Oof. If a team fails to submit its end-of-round screenshots for a match before the deadline, it will suffer a C-bill penalty in the amount of 100,000 C-bills per end-of-round screen. So that's up to 500,000 C-bills per match.
I totally wish I had something equivalent for Major League Mech Warrior, because for the past, I don't know how many weeks, everybody's basically just like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's all casted. Idea. It's casted, so nah, no screenshots for you. And I'm trying to sit there and retroactively look for, you know, MVP players to give 500 MC to, and I'm like, damn it, there are no screenshots for the last 5 weeks. What the hell, people? But that's what I get for not hounding.
That's the flexibility that you get when you run a league like this that isn't win or lose. There's more at stake than just, oh, did I win or did I lose 3 matches.
It is certainly a much more flexible league that lends a hand to less experienced teams, because, you know, you're always getting something out of it, pretty much. Like, unless you got no kills and no wins and nothing, like, you just got completely steamrolled, you're going to be making some money. So that's nice that it's not just like you lost and that's it.
and teams will play each other twice per season. So, so if you were wondering who decides where they spawn on the map, each team plays each other twice. One time, one team is Team 1, the other time, Team 1 in the lobby. The other time, the other team is Team 1. So you have a home and an away leg that really dictate where you spawn on the map. It's not like Major League Mech Warrior where loser decides which side of the map they spawn on. Is it your home week or away week?
That's kind of interesting. I like that.
And I believe they have dropped.
Alright, I'm hopping in just a sec here.
Nope, never mind. They are not dropped yet.
Oh,
False
you're
alarm.
right. Yeah. It's just the friend list jumps around. That is why this is going to be so nice. To just be able to sit in lobby and not think about it. And then you're just going to see the little thing flashing and you're going to be like, oh, we're in round. Great. That's what I wanted.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to do any three-man casts like we did that one QQ versus who was it? The first QQ match that went to 5 games.
Oh yeah, me and
Major
you
League
and
Mech
Siri
Warrior. Yeah.
against Markstar. J-Man and the
Markstar,
Lambs.
thank you. Yeah. To my understanding, the consumer service representative spectator mode that we're using right now can actually have 12 spectators. I want to say that they basically an invisible team of spectators, and that's how they set it up. That's just pure speculation on my part, and they have actually dropped this time. So
Yay.
dropping. And T-Fun is in his Highlander, ready to be the VIP.
Interesting. I always think of T-Fun as more of a light pilot. And he's definitely in the tanky one. This is a smart choice. This is the 732B, and I believe that's the one they released for MC only a while back. It's probably available for C-Bills now. That's just got tons of extra armor.
It is the heaviestly armored... heaviestly? It's
I like that.
The most heavily armored assault in the game to date.
Well, it's certainly a good choice for this round. I will expect EMP to follow suit because these are all metagamers here, and that's what you do. You know, you figure out what's best for the role.
I think it's interesting that MRBC chose the Highlander for the VIP mech, and not an Atlas, for instance, a 100-ton mech. So I just think it's interesting.
I think it's kind of a nice balance where the Highlander is still a pig, but it's not quite like the Atlas in terms of inflexibility, because the Atlas is like, you're either short range or you're wasting. But, let's see, and no, EMP with this classic 732, Seleth is going to be in that. Apparently he is their dedicated Highlander pilot. I see 2 Thunderbolts, Stormcrow, Wolverine, Hellbringer, Timberwolf, and another Wolverine for EMP. It looks like they're going to fall all the way back if they can. They're going to kite. They got a Stormcrow on point watching out. SJR with Nova, Wolverines, Thunderbolt, Hellbringer, another Thunderbolt, Timberwolf, and Highlander. So pretty much what you'd expect. Thunderbolts, Wolverines, a couple of clan mechs, and a Highlander.
So, right now, SJR are just headed straight for the lower city area. That's a very, very defensive position.
You know, Selith using probably my favorite Highlander build right now, the triple large pulse and Gauss. That thing is brutal.
Right now we have both teams just trading at extreme distance.
Yep,
No
Ex Machina though, that right arm's opened up. He might lose that right arm, and that's all of his 4 large lasers, so he's got to be real careful now.
Airstrike online.
Both teams content to trade it out at this point. Time Delight also down at 82 in his Timberwolf, but that's pretty much spread all over. SJR looking in better shape. They are not quite as damaged across the board. G-Man's right arm and that Wolverine also now totally crit out, so got a couple of these Wolverines with very limited functionality left in them if they get chopped off.
Yeah, Ex Machinima's right arm is cored open, and it's orange. It's not going to last, you know, another 1 or 2 hits.
Yep,
But
and G-Man lost his.
4 large lasers, though, that'll hit hard for a while.
Target acquired.
Both teams really playing defensively right now. I'm going to take a look at, well, I was going to take a look at... Odwalla is the worst looking, down at 70% in that Hellbringer. Left torso cored out. He will lose his ECM and the balance of his medium lasers if that gets taken out. Heimdallite down at 57 in that Timberwolf, so that's not good. About the same kind of look as G-Man. Or not G-Man. Whoever I was just in.
It looks
EMP
like
is circling left.
SJR is starting to take a more forward position. G-Man, oh, his UAV was destroyed, but he planted a pretty forward UAV.
Ex Machina for EMP and his Wolverine got his arm taken off. G-Man pulling a bum rush in here with his, you know, neutered Wolverine trying to draw some attention. Odwalla not looking good as Hellbringer's almost gone. Those two are up there and isolated, but EMP has moved out of the back. Ooh, Selith is alone.
Versus Selith. Selith easily taking out the damaged Hellbringer.
But if, I don't know, I thought they had a chance at getting him, but Selith's right up there. He is right up there in that VIP mech. He does not give a fuck.
If he goes down, then that's 50,000 C-bills. Oh, nope. Selith took out G-Man and his Wolverine.
And it looks like EMP is up to, I thought this was going SJR's way, but they've lost a couple of mechs. EMP has a lot of wounded, and sure enough, Selith is the first one to go down. Wow.
EMP has lost their VIP.
And I see some decent looking mechs, some bad looking mechs on both sides. SJR's got a nice tight position here. Strikes, I believe, are not allowed, or they probably wouldn't be grouping up like this.
They are not allowed in this drop. They are allowed in drops 4 and 5.
UAV goes up for SJR.
EMP just seems to be focusing on T-Fun in his... Oh, no, that wasn't the Highlander that went down. What was that?
Acquired.
So, EMPs, whenever
4-4,
they can,
Ghost
they're
goes
just
down.
focusing on the Highlander.
And right now, Banana Nut Muffin's in that Thunderbolt. I think he's getting some decent trades with these medium pulse over here. I don't know if they're looking at him very much.
Both teams have suffered heavy losses. 4 dead on each side. 5 dead for EMP.
5 dead for SJR. This is the kind of match where if this was real life, none of these fuckers would make it off the planet. They are all gonna die. Ooh, Nova. Piemaker in a Nova. Not opened up anywhere. 2 PPCs. He can probably Pop-Tart this to a finish. In fact, I'm just gonna sit in on him.
I think Proton is... Oh,
At 20.
they haven't noticed him, and Proton takes it in the side.
They're pushing around. They know they've got to try to capitalize on this. And he takes down Coburn.
T-Fun hiding in a corner. Don't worry, I understand. You're the VIP. You're
And he's got
worth
no weapons.
50,000 C-bills.
Piemaker opened up, not getting great trades from where he is. He hops down. Oh, they are both super damaged right now. Oh, that burn didn't do it. He turns away. Nice escape over the ridge right there. Oh, the Piemaker gets it off just a little bit short. Oh, that was such a close one. And now it's Banana Nut Muffins, and he is... That's going to take more than a single blast. This is going to be rough. And he does it. So EMP takes this round.
By a hair.
By a hair. This was a hell of a drop right here. Love watching drops like this. Nice, gonna farm him. Oh man. I really enjoyed that he wasted a cool shot just so he didn't have to stop farming him for damage. Great damage across the board. Banana Nut Muffins, as I said, he was getting those good trades. I don't think they were looking at him for a lot of the time there. They thought those medium pulse were a little too far out of range maybe, but he was putting that full alpha on there. You know, Proton putting out good damage, Herp the same. Ex Machina, definitely, you can see that arm got chopped off pretty early. Likewise, G-Man, you can just tell. When those Wolverines got the arm chopped off, that is sort of the end of what they can do. A brutal round, only one mech left alive. Neither one of them was the Highlander. So, second drop goes to Imperial. Next drop is going to be on the Mining Collective, and it's going to be the Flank Engagement drop. That's 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, and 2 assaults.
Now this is the first drop we'll be seeing with strikes, and if a team manages to take out all the heavies and assaults on the other team, they get 50,000 extra C-bills on top of their winnings.
I think that should be updated. Ah, I forgot the Mining Collective. I wonder if we have a picture for that, or if that looks like Crimson Straight too. Nope, it's actually Mining Collective. Hooray!
So right now in C-bill totals, Imperial is ahead exactly 1 win. 300,000 C-bills. 1 win is all that separates Imperial and SJR.
I definitely wish there were like more teams that could play on the level that these two teams play on, but it's always fun to watch them face off, so. Type no pants for a mech bay. Just kidding. There are no prizes here. You get nothing. Let's check Outreach, see if I have any more crap to clean up. This has been a surprisingly easy day.
Yeah, it's refreshing to see a team say, "Yeah, we fucked up. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll take it on the chin and move forward." Instead of throwing a shit fit, going, "Oh man, they banned us for no reason. I mean, it's not even that bad. I mean, blah, blah, blah." I mean it's just, we don't need that.
Yeah, no, and whatever. You know, I didn't want to do it in the first place, but the lines were crossed, and
I don't
I had
think
to do what I
anyone
had to do.
wants to. I don't think anyone wants to, discipline other teams. It's just.
No, but I feel like
Uh,
there were plenty of times when I wouldn't have minded, when I wouldn't have felt that in a big way I was doing an injustice to, because this is a letter of the law kind of thing. This is like to preserve
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you can't try to pull the wool over the eyes of an admin and have there be no repercussions. Having said that, the action that they were hiding, is a minor infraction. It's basically like, well, just fucking redrop, and I gotta delay everything a week. And again, CSJ played really well. They outplayed AS, and they earned the spot, and that's why I just didn't like anything about it. There were plenty of times when I'm like, fuck you, you cheater, get the fuck out, and whatever. I have no problem with that. But these guys, it just
get
wasn't that
dunked.
case. Exactly, get
Right,
dunked,
right.
and this just wasn't one of those. There was no joy in this. There you go, and we're moving on. Still got tons of respect for CSJ. Always play great matches, and whatever, man. I'm gonna keep shoutcasting their stuff, whether it's in my league or others.
I do want to just say, the totals that you see on my stream are not in any way official totals. I this is just sort of my quick interpretation of the rules and how I believe the CBEL totals will be playing out. I just wanted to say that before anyone says, "But I saw Army of One stream. This should be our total." I mean, because he mismathed. So I just want to get that out there.
Yeah. Oh god. Sometimes I just hate moderating. God. Well, not in lobby yet, at least not SJR, so just waiting. I wonder what it is most of the time that takes so long. I sort of think it's switching modules around. It just takes forever. But I never really know.
It's possible that the builds that they have set up aren't finalized, and they have a few different builds on any given variant that they want to take, and they just say, okay, this is sort of the style of our opponents tonight, so we want to sort of predict how they're going to play in the next match, and this would be the best build to take. So it might be more than just modules switching around.
Yeah, I can never quite tell for sure. I really wish this list would stop scrolling. Just stay on the magician. Communist. Oh god, all sorts of fun questions coming about how this prize money is going to be distributed.
Oh, for Major League Mech Warrior?
Yep. answer is I don't know. I don't know if everybody's gonna have to make a PayPal account, or if teams just wanna have me dump it into the team captain's account.
Do you accept cashier's checks?
Pretty much. It's just like, all the things that I hate thinking about. You know, casting tournaments is fun. Running tournaments is. I don't know how Magician has done this for this long. What a... Oh, man.
Well, and also you're running the first cash tournament of MechWarrior ever. Is that correct?
Yes. That is... And that's part of the reason that, you know, of course it's so messy. But... worth it.
Is this the first tournament you've ever, or is Major League MechWarrior the first tournament you've ever run, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so first tournament ever, and first ever cash tournament. That is a combination right there.
Yeah, it, and a lot of people really tried to, like, help out and make it even better than it was, you know. Somebody put me in touch with, like Split's team, trying to get me like a sponsorship and food overlay deal and stuff like that, but it was just like, man, I'm just having a hard enough time just trying to run this thing, let alone, you know, do something more advanced than that. I just, maybe next season. Next season I'd love to have some sponsorships, but this season, it's too much of a mess. Well, since they're apparently never gonna play, I quit, and I'm switching to the map view. We're going to talk about that last match, because, God, what else do we have to do at this point? Okay.
Now, why don't you link to me the map tactic?
For a price. Well, actually, now that I think about it, you want to know why I don't? It's because they don't have the right map. Alright. Okay, you know what? You know, yeah, I need to upload a map pack or something, I don't know. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to load up HPG Manifold, and I'm gonna draw a box around yeah, I'm just gonna draw what Mining Colony is kind of like. So like this just isn't here. That's just what the hell was that? God, this thing can be so sketchy. How hard is it to just make a drawing thing on the internet? Okay, I'm linking this to you now, even though this is just incredibly depressing. My God. Alright. Okay,
yeah,
so...
you have to use Skype.
You can't read the message? I sent it. I just sent it directly to you. I didn't type it in channel chat.
Message. Okay, yeah, I got it.
So this part of the map doesn't exist. Yeah, this is just not a thing. So just ignore all that. That's just no. The worst part is even after all of this and drawing this terrible, I'm drawing what is not the map is what I'm drawing. And unfortunately, like when I keep trying to draw, it will just drag one point to the center, and it's terrible. I don't want text. I want to draw. I want, yeah. So none of that. None of the borders. Just forget about that outside stuff. It's not even there. So now that we've got our playground, which I'm gonna denote with this purple inner border. Let's see. And I'm gonna say that, like, here's a ramp up to the center. You know, that's our pretend ramp up to the center. That's the other pretend ramp up to the center. There's like, you know, there's like a building or some boxes or some shit there, and then there's this kind of the same stuff on the other side, but maybe there's a path through one of the sides. I can't remember which one, so I'm gonna say maybe it's like this one that's got some like lanes you can like walk through. And then there's like some base stuff, you know. There, I don't know. That's this map, and of course, you know, this is the top. This is the only reason I picked HPG, because there's a thing in the middle of it, and it's kind of symmetrical. Like, are they in match and just not using mag? No, they're not.
Don't
I'm
so.
still in lobby. God. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, get to review this match, but damn. You know, I look at this, I use the wrong color. You can't see anything, but that's cool.
Here,
I don't...
oh wait, never mind. That's DDS. You might not be able to use that. Let me convert the Mech Factory map, and I'll send it to you
well,
over
that's the
Skype.
problem. You have to like submit an entire map pack. You can't just like, oh yeah, put up an image and let me draw on it. That would be
I mean, we
way
won't
too
be able to
uncomplicated.
we won't be able to use map tactic, but we'll at least be able to see the map.
Yeah, I guess. You know, now that I think about it, this isn't even really what I was going to do anyways. We were going to talk about last match. There's really no need to draw mining colony. So we're just going to clear all that, all of my hard work down the drain, and they're still not in match, so what does that say?
Oh, goodness.
Let's see. So what is it? Frozen City Night? They don't even have Frozen City Night. God.
Well, it's just Frozen City.
I know, but... I want the night version.
There you go. No, it's the same map.
I know, but I want the night version. I don't care if it's the same map. So I'm going to draw EMP down here in red. Initially, they set up along there and traded. SJR moved down into the city area and traded from there. G-Man and his Wolverine got an arm clipped off pretty early down there. Ex Machina also got an arm clipped off in his Wolverine down here. EMP looked like they were losing the trades, I don't know, 20% of the way into the match, something like that. And as SJR slowly kind of crept up line by line in these buildings, a lot of EMP's guys started shifting over, and to the point where the balance of their force, 6 guys were up here. Their VIP Highlander, Selith, and one other guy was down here with him. And SJR just kept moving up, and they eventually sort of rotated into that little corner around there, and EMP, sort of at the point where they were trading along this line, just got the better looks. I think that moving up to that Charlie 3 ridge was a good plan on their part.
Yeah, once SJR started to move, that's probably when they started to lose as well. They just lost the defensive positioning of that lower city, and they were just able to be picked off by EMP.
I mean, I think they could have made an aggressive push into Selith and the other one mech down here, because as they moved up to this, you know, the main position, Charlie 5 edge, G-Man in his, you know, basically neutered Wolverine ran in sort of as a distraction over here. And I really think that when they saw that those 2 mechs were isolated, that SJR really could have crashed in here and taken advantage of that, cleaned up those 2 mechs rather quickly, and then only had 6 EMP to deal with. And instead, it ended up being the other way, where they got down 2 mechs before EMP and then sort of had to fight their way back, even though I think they made the better trades early on. Oh, yeah,
okay,
right. You're here now, and now you can draw. So, just what you always wanted.
Yeah, maybe this time I can find the penis.
You know, I was literally just doing that. I was like, where is the penis on this drawing?
Well, I'm seeing some red balls and this purple and blue line sort of coming to a point.
Yeah, see, I looked at that and I was like, that
odd.
is the most misshapen penis the world has ever seen. I mean, if anybody has a penis that looks like a pyramid, please go see a doctor. And on that note, they are in match now, so...
Hey, what do you know?
Let's head in there.
And it looks like my game crashed. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, that's always fun. Well, it's going to be Imperial over there on the far side in blue. SJR is going to be over here with us in red. G-Man and a King Crab, Pie Maker and a Direwolf. The 2 clan mechs are, of course, going to be a Hellbringer and a Timberwolf. And then it's an Enforcer, a Wolverine, and 2 Fire Starters for SJR. So they're going Knife Fight, and I expect to see pretty much the exact same drop deck from EMP. Sure enough, pretty much the exact same. The only difference is that instead of a Crab, they have taken the more traditional Stalker 4, and they did double up on the Wolverines, though. So those are the 2 differences. Enforcer versus Wolverine, and Stalker versus Crab.
Just as a general reminder, this is the first match where they are able to take strikes.
And that is very important, because especially with these bigger mechs, if you get clustered up, you're going to get struck. Both teams playing, just trying to get us, you know, sort of a decent defensive position. SJR has taken the middle pretty handily, but they're waiting for the rest of their bigs to make the next leg of the push. Aurora definitely took some fire from Magician there, so they know that SJR's main force is probably all over on the left.
Artillery strike online. Artillery strike online. Airstrike on.
Selith and a 4 ER large laser Timberwolf. That is really an odd build in my mind, considering the beam duration, especially with that A-pod. That's some crazy stuff right there.
But he is sitting way far back.
He
in
is.
The shadows.
Rest of EMP just sitting in their base proper. Yeah, that's really weird. Look at how far back Selith is. That is a very interesting Overwatch strategy.
And the first strike of the match didn't hit anything.
Whiff.
Although strikes aren't necessarily always planted to hit people. Most of the time I would say strikes are really for movement control. If you can put your enemy where you want him to, where you want your enemy to be, then you win. As simple as that.
I mean, there's definitely nothing as effective as at splitting up a pug push than a strike right in the middle of them, and they'll just scatter instead of just taking, you know, 50 damage, 100 damage running through it and get it over with. They'll sacrifice the match. Both teams incredibly cautious. Neither one making the move. EMP just backing off. EMP straight up going back to camp this corner. SJR has barely moved. It looks like their bigs are thinking about going on the right side, but yeah, I don't really seem like they know what the hell they want to do either.
And EMP's bigs are just sort of chilling in their back corner as well.
The scouts just watching particular corners. This is what you see in high level play. Is all they need to do is watch 1 or 2 places and they know.
UAV goes up over SJR just to check to see if there's any scouts sneaking around, but they're not going to find anyone. No one's around. Although, that UAV does give away SJR's position.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it's not that SJR cares. I mean, both teams I'm pretty sure know where the other one is. They're both set up and doing their thing. It looks like maybe they're moving. Mag's moving up. Mag's moving up in his Timberwolf on the right side. This is the most action I've seen in minutes. This is the one thing I do not like about skirmish games. Because neither team wants to make the first move, and it's totally understandable. Why would you?
tweaking his gun around the right-hand side just to see if see anyone. And maybe he does see the other fire starter down there, but maybe not.
Aurora down to 84% in that fire starter. What is he looking? In fact, you know what? Let's look at damage numbers that anyone's done anything, but Aurora was down to 84. And he looks like it's spread all over the place, a little bit more on the legs, so it's a little bit worrying for him, but honestly probably won't be a big deal. The Enforcer's taking damage on its left side, and it looks like it's just a small Wolverine, how they're running this. 2 small pulse and 3 large lasers, I believe I saw stacked on the left.
And it looks like T-Fun's trying to sneak around the left-hand side of Imperial, but he's already been spotted.
Yep. Well, I will say that this is why the Major League Mech Warrior rule set is the way it is, because this is not fun to watch. This is sad. But, you know, that's how it goes. Whatever. Real warfare is gritty and involves a lot of waiting, so... True to lore, right?
Because, you know, real warfare uses 100-ton mechs with,
Imperial's
lasers.
going. They're moving right. I'm gonna get in on Proton in his Direwolf. They might be looking to just slam straight into SJR here. It sort of looks like it based on where the Direwolf is. He takes a good shot and puts out his damage. So let's see who was the winner of that first trade.
Well, Pimemaker's down to 93%.
Proton down to 88, and the Direwolf, he probably took the most damage, so never good to see your Direwolf taking CT damage like that.
Well, it looks like SJR won that trade, even though Imperial was the one that that pushed just to try to get SJR out of just out of cover and off guard.
Cella's still there, and his Timberwolf S just ready with those ER larges to just be a total dick. Like, you can't see him. You can't see him because he's totally out of the light. So, a very interesting strategy on that one. Taking pot shots at the lights, and again, EMP now just back at the position that they were at, and I think they realize that SJR is just too well set up to come around that corner and hope to win. And I think they might just sort of wait this out. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like we've got a 6-minute wait ahead of us. Maybe not. Maybe one of these teams will pour it on here, but I don't expect so. Slummy moving up in his Hellbringer. This could be risky. Let's see what happens. Got his right arm torn off, but probably wasn't something he cared about.
Well, he's being an excellent distraction if Imperial wants to start swinging around left, but it looks like they're mainly stationary.
Yeah, he just took a couple of shots because he figured they probably might not be looking there anymore, and it was a decent call. Probably put a couple of shots on.
Moved off of the mountain. He is going up left hard.
And all of Imperial circling left.
Oh my god, it's like they can hear me. The Magician off to the right of SJR. If
he gets caught, yeah, those fire starters are right up front, so he very well might get jumped, and that is a big disadvantage to have your drop commander out. It's harder for them to call targets, at least for that 5 seconds after they die.
Now it looks like we're going to start to see some action. SJR has moved to
Cella took a big hit.
To EMP's push.
And I don't know this is a great place to trade from for EMP. I feel like SJR is probably at the firing line pretty well set up there. Just give me a big fat mech to sit in.
New target.
T-Fun gets his left arm blown off. And
Huh?
Imperial continues to circle around to their left, trying to get around SJR's flank.
Playmaker down to below 70%. And that direwolf getting struck in the back. But not a lot of damage though.
Playmaker's at 53% now.
Let's check at health percentages now. Selith opened up bad CT. If he takes one more shot CT, he's gone. He got greedy. He popped up in the same place. Not a smart move. Can't do that against teams of this caliber. Slummy down to 50% in his Hellbringer. He's open CT. A lot of weak SJR mechs though.
And we have 3 mechs from Imperial swinging around.
Ex Machina goes down on his Wolverine. Coburn and Aurora trying to put pressure on the right side, but they're both... And Aurora goes down. Coburn's the only light left all the way on the right side, trying to get in their flank, trying to get him to turn around. G-Man dealing with Coburn and his crab.
Artillery strike online.
Time Delight's looking pretty good. I think he's at 79.
78 now, but yeah.
Banana Nut also looking good in a Wolverine, but his right arm is taking a lot of that damage, which is not good. This is definitely going SJR's way pretty handily, but...
And Colburn goes down in his fire starter trying to get around the flank, but he got caught.
Playmaker's going to go down, but he took down
Not a single mech for SJR has gone down.
All the Playmaker needs is one tap CT, but they didn't get him. He took down that Hellbringer. Mag circling around back, trying to get a line from the left.
Target.
He's coming up behind this Wolverine. That's a great place to come up behind it on that right side.
And they only have 2 minutes left. This might last. If they don't be pushed now.
Well, they're coming in
they might not
behind.
get it.
Time Delight getting hit from behind. He can't last much longer. Banana Nut Muffins neutered. Gonna go down shortly. And Proton in that Direwolf. Is this gonna be an 8-0?
It's 8-0.
SGR slow played that to perfection. They were not greedy. Imperial decided to make that move, and SGR was set up for it. Look at those damage numbers, though, across the board. Really good from both teams. T-Fun got caught out with only 51 damage in his Firestarter. Aurora, only 100 damage in his Firestarter. Honestly, Firestarters in general didn't really affect this fight nearly as much as I sort of would have thought. I thought they would have done a better job really putting pressure on from behind and making the enemy line uncomfortable, but they were not used in clever ways this time.
So, for that match, MP gets 0 C-bills, but SJR get a whopping 430,000 C-bills. Easily closing the gap between the two, and then going even further.
And so, the final battle, Drop 5, is going to be the center of engagement battle. That's 2 lights, 0 mediums, 4 heavies, and 2 assaults. So this is going to be the heaviest drop, and it's sure to be a real show. You're going to see, I don't know, Direwolf, Crab, Stalker, something. Maybe an Atlas, probably a Banshee, I guess. Probably a Banshee for the trading. And it's going to be on HPG Manifold. Now the picture I know is going to be wrong. I know the picture is going to be Crimson Straight, so...
Yep.
It's 2-2 going into this final series, and you said that SJR has the advantage on C-bills, if only slightly?
Yes.
I should really probably watch Twitch chat, but God. I don't have any motivation today. I'm burnt out.
So you said it was a long day today, huh?
A little. Didn't help that I only got 5 hours of sleep, but
Oof.
anytime one of these fun moderation thing pops up, then league problems and moderation problems are like my two least favorite things, and both of them.
Check your Skype. I sent over a JPEG for the Mining Collective map.
Sweet. Oh, I'm too lazy to set up a paint capture. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I am not willing.
That's why I just have desktop as one of my scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I should probably do that. Unfortunately, that is the one crappy thing about the scene switcher, is like, I have it set up to, you know, if it's in game, switch to the game. If it's anything that is not the game, switch back to the out of game overlay. So yeah, it could be kind of a pain. Honestly, I wish I could set it on some sort of delay. You can't set a delay. You can set how frequently it checks for what your active window is. But that just means somewhere between instantly and the time you put, rather than, you know, I'd like a 10-second delay. Like, please let me be on this window for 10 seconds before you switch. Oh, wow. Glory, how can you possibly like HBG the least? And then Bog. Oh my god. Terra Therma's better than all those three? I don't know. I don't know how.
I cannot agree with that.
I cannot. The dude does not abide. I am so. I'm not. I don't dislike it. I'm fucking hateful of that map. Maybe it's just.
Terra Therma?
Yeah, Terra Therma. Every time I get on that map, sometimes if I'm having a rough night, I just alt F4. I'm just like, I'm not playing this. I have no intention of dropping on this magnificent pile of shit. I mean, granted, it's mostly pug games. Like, if you're playing with a team and, you know, 3 or 4 people get in the center, it's fine. But in pug matches, it's just like, who does it right and who's retarded? Okay, and the rest of the match is just like a waste of time, a slow grind, while people make stupid trades to the death. It's the most demoralizing. Or you get the alternative that I experienced the other day, where you do that, but then you're somehow on assault mode and they just say fuck it and go right for the base. And it's like, oh, okay. So, I mean, all the elevation climbing, the size, the lack of visibility, the tiny lanes, the big open ugly center, there's nothing, not a single thing I like it about Terra Therma. I really wish they would just fucking delete that map. Alpine's a terrible map, but they should delete Terra Therma. Don't even, no salvage, just kill. They could fix Bog. They just need to remove some branches and make the stairs function like, you know, stairs, like that you can walk up.
Or better yet, a ramp.
I mean, anything except like visually advertising stairs, and then you get on it and it's like, terms and conditions may apply. Like, no, they're fucking stairs. They look like stairs. I'm in a big walking robot that's perfectly capable of taking stairs, but no. Whatever, man. I'm excited for the new River City, though. Did you hear about? Did you hear about like how they're gonna do the time of day that's actually gonna shift?
Yes,
6 hours for every 15 minutes of game time.
And
that is sick.
That's exactly what I said when I saw the time of day preview when they fast forward through the entire day. I said I would love to have a map with the time of day changing throughout the map, and over 15 minutes, it's a full day, half a day, whatever. But having changing lighting conditions in the middle of the match, they did it. Yes.
My God. Mr. Petzold, I feel like he is one of the people that is running this league. I feel like he's the person that has talked to me about the rules when I was casting Major League MechWarrior, and I'm trying to plug it. And the co-caster is Army of One. Well, I don't know, I wouldn't say co-caster at this point, because I'm the one who got here late. But the other caster is Army of One, and yeah, you're welcome. You know, I like casting any of these competitive matches, and if you're on a competitive team and you want stuff casted, bug somebody. Bug me, bug Army of One, bug Magician, Adi, Siri, Carpenter, Maverick.
I mean,
bug one of
sure
us and we'll put it on the
us.
calendar and try to get it casted. Because basically it's just like, I look at Major League MechWarrior matches and put them on the calendar, and, you know, whatever else is just like, who knows what's going on. So bug us, let us know. We'll try to get it casted, no promises, but even if you're just doing scrims, because, you know, I know in scrims that, you know, that's when you're training, that's when you're trying to get better and you're trying new things, and if you want a bird's eye perspective of that, let us know, you know, that's fine. If I got time, I'll make it happen.
Although scrims, having scrims casted, it's a double-edged sword, because not only are you gaining more information about your play, but anyone watching is gaining more information about your play.
I will definitely give you that. It's a mixed bag on that one, but you know, I still think the trade-off is worth it, because honestly, what they know about you doesn't matter nearly as much as how good you are. It doesn't matter that I know that SJR is going to kick my ass when I see them in queue. It just matters that, I can't do anything about it. So I think that unless you're trying something really sneaky, it's probably worth it to perhaps get a bird's eye view of the battlefield.
Oh, also, I think I got another viewpoint on the issues that I was having with the frame drops in MechWarrior. Try to find the exact post. Someone was complaining about frame rate issues, and I sort of gave a quick rundown of what I was getting, of the issues I was having, and on Reddit I was told that even though it has my processor has 8 cores, it's advertised 8 cores. It has each core has an integer part, but so there's 8 integer parts, but there's only 4 floating point computing units, 4 flop units.
Oh, that's
in
so
my
stupid.
processor. So it's not really an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's,
I mean,
like...
it is, but it isn't.
That's like, unless you're doing really specific processing, because it's like, fuck, dude, what, games... Games are so heavily filled with floats, I don't know anywhere that... Man.
So even though there are 8 integer units, 8 cores, quote unquote, it's really a 4-core processor that has double the space for integers. Yeah. So he speculates that when I disabled cores 5, 6, 7, 8, half of my processor, or half of the integer parts, energy units, it's forcing the 4 floating point computational units to work with only 4 energy units, and that's why it's working better when I turn off half my processor.
That probably makes a lot of sense. I feel like both teams are in the lobby. I'm praying to sweet dear baby Jesus that both teams are in the lobby. Oh,
they just dropped. They dropped.
Oh, thank you, God. Alright. Oh, I gotta sit back up. Why did they have to do that the minute I laid back to just relax? I feel like that's how I need to get him to drop from now on.
I saw Match quickly go into lobby, and then not 5 or 10 seconds afterward, they dropped. I was like, oh, whoa! Now this is the 5th and final drop. They have, what, 4 assaults?
Yeah.
Back to the rules, yeah, 2 lights.
No mediums.
4 assaults, no mediums.
So Hellbringer, or Jenner and Firestarter for EMP, 2 Firestarters for SJR, and it looks like Hellbringer, Thunderbolt, Warhawk, Stalker, Crab, Direwolf. Not quite what I expected, but close. Timberwolf, Hellbringer, of course, the clan mechs. Direwolf, King Crab, Stalker. So they're trading right out of the gate. They're wasting no time. SJR's going hard right.
And they've pretty much pinned EmpyreaL's heavy unit.
Oh, Slummy's taking a lot of
Stalker,
damage.
King Crab.
Proton looking good, and he takes down the Magician. Magician got way too far out on the right and isolated himself. So that definitely helps EMP take a little bit of pressure off. And now Piemaker taking heavy damage from the Warhawk and the Direwolf. Proton just pumping that damage out. G-Man
really
takes down the
like...
Warhawk.
Oh, the Piemaker has overheated in his Direwolf and lost his side torso, and now he is down. That's -1 Direwolf for SJR. They're not looking good. I just do not like the attack vector that SJR takes.
Not a lot of...
Right
oh,
here.
man, they're just getting picked off one by one. T-Fun, the most healthy, I guess. Ghost. Yeah, no, this is definitely going EMP's way handily. This might be an 8-0. Seleth and the King Crab's probably the weakest at 43%. Timberwolf goes down.
And
it's just T-Fun on Walla.
And the Stalker goes down. That is it. 8-0. Very, very one-sided.
You know what that almost reminded me of? Was match 1 of Major League MechWarrior on this match between EMP and SJR, where SJR rushed right, EMP held their ground.
It's 8-1. 8-1. They did take.
That's right, Slummy and the Warhawk went down. So, still, I mean, look at that. And it was totally Proton. It's just that Direwolf was totally ignored. You know, you saw him doing, you know, pretty much yellow across the board, not too far into that match there, and just got ignored. Seleth also doing a ton of damage in that King Crab. Those are the alpha team right there. And you just see a lot of SJR mechs got caught with way too little damage. Mag at 41. Don't know how he got isolated out there on the right, but he did. Tweaking and Cornite not far behind. I think those were the lights. But good job to EMP. Good job to both teams. Great series. Goes to EMP 3-2. Although I don't know what the money distribution is. EMP is probably a little bit better off on
right
that.
On that. I can tell you right now, SJR has 920,000. Let's see what EMP will have. EMP stands tall with 1,210,000. Very, very handily over SJR.
How much did they end up with?
920,000.
So not a massive disparity, but definitely convincing victory there. That last 8-0 really sealed the deal. I don't quite know what happened. I don't know how they got isolated so quickly, but You know, Imperial did a great job setting up those 4 assaults in a spot where they could pretty much all trade. So even though that Warhawk went down, totally worth it. Well, I don't really have the wherewithal to do a post-show right now. I am pretty burnt out. So I'm going to call it here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you had fun watching. I'll continue to cast as many matches as I can. Army of One, as always. It's a pleasure to cast with you.
Thanks. It's always nice to have 2 people casting as well. I always enjoy when I'm casting with you, Bill.
It's good stuff. Well, yeah, we'll keep trying to bring you matches. Stay tuned for the rest of Week 8 Major League MechWarrior next week. I don't know what the hell the MRBC schedule is, but whatever. Just stay tuned to Reddit and we'll do what we can. So, it's going to be it for me. I am signing off.
And this has been Army of One. I'll see you on the battlefield.